An advisor to Nicola Sturgeon has hit out claiming that people from England are to blame for Scotland's rising COVID-19 numbers. Professor Devi Sridhar said people from south of the border and Wales were generating a stream of incoming infections. The chair of Global Public Health at the University of Edinburgh said in a New York Times comment piece that being part of the UK is threatening Nicola Sturgeon's efforts to combat COVID-19. The 36-year-old sits on the Scottish Government's COVID-19 advisory group. Professor Sridhar said, "Scotland and Northern Ireland have looked ahead at the coming winter, and made a concerted plan to minimise community transmission to avoid a serious resurgence of the virus by using the summer to drive cases as close to zero as possible and to reopen cautiously. But neither nation has control over its borders because they are parts of the United Kingdom. So both now face a stream of incoming infections from England and Wales, which are behaving more like the rest of Europe, as well as from people returning from holidays abroad and not abiding by government advice to isolate for 14 days. The academic also claims people who are returning to the UK should enter enforced isolation. She continued in the piece, "Topping community transmission requires mandatory, enforced quarantine for incoming travellers and testing before release. Europe could do the same and cooperate across countries toward this goal so that intra-European travel and tourism can continue when a safe bubble can be built." Professor Sridhar also stressed that guidance imposed by the First Minister recommending people to only outside for a walk only once a day allowed Scotland to flatten the COVID-19 curve but to also keep levels of infection very low. The advisor previously apologised after criticism from Scottish Conservative MSPs for describing Unionists as anti-Scottish on Twitter. Realising her mistake, Professor Sridhar deleted the inaccurate tweet and issued an apology, saying that she had meant anti-independence. Professor Sridhar has also been critical of the Westminster government including Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Coronavirus has been rising in Scotland after a cluster emerged in Aberdeen with 198 cases now recorded in the last 3 weeks whilst 339 cases have been recorded in the last week alone.